Welcome to Calm Brain. This is the data repository created by the Rohini Nilekani Centre for Brain and Mind, built from deeply characterized cohorts of Indian families with a history of major psychiatric illnesses. Our team has created this longitudinal, cross-disorder, and multimodal database to enable high-quality collaborative research, leading to advanced and biologically grounded understanding of psychiatric illnesses.
As you all know, the human brain is a very complex organ, particularly in the evolutionary context. It is one of the most evolved brain amongst all the animals. And given the way we respond to very different behavioral stimuli, under normal circumstances, we don't even sort of notice how the brain functions. When there is a psychiatric disorder, to understand the complexity of the brain and also to understand the diseases and develop therapeutic interventions, we need multifactorial, multidisciplinary, multi-institutional collaborations. And the Calm Brain database is going to be immensely useful for the community to collectively address this particular problem.
Psychiatric disorders are a concern globally, and they're of concern in India too. As we know from the first National Mental Health Survey that 1 in 10 Indians has a diagnosable psychiatric disorder. We know that psychiatric disorders are complex, polygenic and multifactorial in origin, and therefore it becomes important to collect not only clinical data but also genetic, physiological, biochemical, environmental and other such data and converge them to understand both the etiology, the pathogenesis, the similarities across different psychiatric disorders as well as the differences.
In recent years, neuroscientists have made great advances in understanding individual aspects of brain function, but it has proved to be much more challenging to bridge the information between these different scales of analysis. In the Calm Brain database, we bring together multiple scales of analysis on a single platform. And using modern methods of data analysis, we expect that we'll be able to bridge these problems across multiple scales of analysis.
We study 5 major mental illnesses: schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, alcohol dependence, and Alzheimer's dementia. We all know that there are no strict boundaries between mental illnesses and many of them coexist. So by understanding the shared and distinct biological mechanisms, we may be able to develop treatments that are precision treatments in the long run. The another advantage of the study is that we plan to study these people over 20 years and we have already completed close to 8 to 9 years by now. By studying them over a period of time, we also understand what are the factors which contribute to the course of the illnesses and the treatment response.
Calm Brain is a database which is quite unique in the number of dimensions it spans. Key things here are longitudinal, which means that it spans long periods of time, and multimodal, which means that it looks at many different ways of monitoring the brain. Everything from MRI, EEG, all the way down to genetics and even stem cells. The impact of such a database for collaborations is huge. First, of course, it touches many kinds of research into the brain by virtue of its wide range of modalities and by virtue of its longitudinal design and the patient pool. But also, the sheer range of things that it covers means that we would be very keen to get people involved who will be able to bring in, for example, data science or expertise in any of the different kinds of modalities that are relevant for the database.
As part of the ADBS project funded by the Department of Biotechnology, Government of India, which is now carried forward as the Centre for Brain and Mind with generous funding from the Rohini Nilekani Philanthropies. At NIMHANS, Professor Venkat Subramanian and myself have been involved in the planning, supervision and coordination of acquisition of these various brain structural and functional assessment tools. These structural and functional data will provide a unique opportunity for the wider scientific community to study the structure and function of the brain and the brain basis of various psychiatric disorders. The longitudinal design of the project would provide a unique opportunity to possibly arrive at unique brain biosignatures from neuroimaging data which are specific to each of these disorders or which cuts across these various disorders.
The recruitment happens at the outpatient clinics and from the inpatient wards at NIMHANS. Our clinical team recruit families of individuals with severe mental illness, their unaffected relatives, and population controls. We do brief and deep clinical phenotyping, including cognition. The data is collected adhering to all the ethical guidelines with strict measures to maintain confidentiality. The data curation is being carried out at multiple levels and across several time points to ensure accuracy and integrity before it is sent to NCBS.
Once we receive patient information from NIMHANS, we start organizing the data into calm brain data infrastructure. I manage the database, curate the clinical and neuroimaging data set, and also support the platform that allows researchers to access and explore the data set. We work on multimodal forms of data like clinical assessment, MRI images, and EEG recordings.
So the Calm Brain database has data from thousands of people, and this has been accrued over the last many years. What one should not forget is that each one of these patients and their families have spent many hours with us. Each person spends 8 to 10 hours doing all these assessments. These assessments have been performed by staff, hundreds of staff across the last many years. A lot of time and effort has been put. And we hope that this database will be extremely useful to actually understand the biology of mental illness. By doing that, by reducing the stigma of mental illness as well. So that's the hope.
For a better understanding of these mental health conditions and the biology behind it and the interface between biology and social factors, and also to offer better treatment modalities, I think it's very important that we have a database that is very in-depth, which has multiple forms of data, as well as well-characterized families. So I think the Calm Brain database is a unique and a very valuable resource for collaborative research, which is going to pave the way for the next generation of brain science in understanding complex mental health problems.
And so, put together, this is going to be a fantastic resource for the community of researchers in India and indeed around the world.